Hello. We're doing the thing again. It's happening again. Help. I need to turn my lights on. I'm a little bit discombobulated at the moment because, yes, I'm just getting things ready for tonight's fantastic stream. Yes, I want to close all the tabs and then I want to open the tabs again so that things go onto the path. And then we're going to go into Twitch Stream Badger because it has now been fully renamed and all the namespaces and everything works and everything is good. How's it going? Say hello in the chat. Ian, good to see you, buddy. And yeah, so I just had to install Node, which is never something I can, yay, I'm installing Node. But it's unavoidable because what we are going to do today, so we've got Stream Badger, which is an overlay app for Twitch and OBS that does things so that if I just run Stream Badger now, and then I can push buttons on my stream element thing. Overlays, show that, refresh it, and then go bang and bang. And I can make things appear over my screen. And I'm going to add more stuff into this and CSS animations and potentially Lottie animations, so you can make kind of funky things in After Effects and then export them as a JSON file, and then it'll be possible to import those into Stream Badger and play those over the top of your stream and all that sort of stuff. But it started out, it was just a Blazor application and you ran it and opened in the browser, and then I thought, no, let's make it so that it runs in a window, and so we've got it wrapped in Photino, which is like Electron but in .NET, and it works with Blazor and stuff. And then yes, but it does this thing. So in the chat, is it still running? Yeah. So in the chat you can go hey and bang Perry, and it's supposed to display that in the thing, but it's not at the moment because it's not logging in. And it can't connect, but it listens to the chat and to the reward notifications, those reward things that you get for collecting bits and stuff. And to do that, you need to authenticate with Twitch. And in the web application, it just went, okay, we'll authenticate with Twitch. We'll go over to Twitch, and then Twitch will come back to us. And we were using the kind of no server flow for doing that. But with a desktop application, that doesn't work in the same way, because basically if you've got a desktop application or a mobile application but a self-contained application and it shows you a login page in itself, not in a browser, then you have this situation where it could be a fake version of the Twitch login screen that I could have put into Stream Badger and you wouldn't know, and I could get your Twitch credentials, or it could just hook into the WebView component or the WebKit component, and it could listen to keystrokes and it could do all sorts of evil things. And so sensible people don't log in like that. And so what we need to do is have a service running somewhere that when you click the login button in Stream Badger, it opens a web page, and you go to the web, and the application just sits there and waits, and you go through a thing on the web page and do your Twitch authentication, and yes, it's okay, Stream Badger's fine, and all that sort of thing. And then once it's all done, the desktop application just goes, hey, I've got some access tokens now, I can do the thing that I need to do. Okay, so, but this is an open source project. I'm not planning on, I might sort of bang a Patreon up for it or something if I can get it a bit more polished. I really need Sorry, this is the Stream Badger dashboard here that's running. I really need to put the graphics over these things, make these look nicer and so forth, but I want to get it functional first. And what am I saying? I'm saying words. Right, yes, open source, not making any money, not really wanting to pay hosting for it. I splashed 10 quid on streambadger.com just because it was available, and I like domain names. I own too many domain names. Yeah. I have a problem. But yes, I need somewhere to host it that isn't going to cost me any money, and it needs to actually run an application. It can't just be like it's not a static web page, because you can't make dangling API calls to static web pages. You only have 4 domains. Sorry. I'm going to show you my domain list. So most of my domains, I've got 31. So let's look at Mark's domains. Is Boris Johnson lying, and is borislying.com, which I need to renew apparently. Have I been clippened? Which I registered for. So if you go to his, I think Is Boris Lying is still active. Yeah, there we go. There's isborislying.com. Have I been clippened was domain, and I think there's an actual website on that as well. Have I been clippened.com? Yeah, so there you go. Here's Have I Been Clippened. That was for a 5-minute funny talk that I did at an NDC Oslo, where I knew that Troy was going to be there, and so I ripped off his site. Big Pink Pig. Big Pink Pig's probably the oldest domain I own. Yeah. That's for email. It was going to be a web design studio thing back in about 2001. Would have been a great name for a web design studio, but it ended up being called something else. But we used it as our email. .get, that I can't even remember what that was. I think somebody might have built what that was supposed to be. Spang.games, no, that was. I registered that because I thought I was going to call something spang.games, and then I decided not to. Plaything.com. Plaything is my my company name for games published on the App Store and the Android, the Play Store, which currently consists of Cheese Times Tables, which is a game that I made in Unity to help my son learn his times tables, and it's on there. Microstuff.io. I've had for ages, and the DNS is set up to point to localhost, and so if you need an actual domain, so if you run something on your machine on localhost and then go to microstuff.io/whatever that is, then it will work. I'm sure there's a problem with that, but I can't figure out what it is. Desert Planet Downloads is theoretically, if I find the time, it's going to be a podcast where I get various random people on, and they say you're marooned on a desert planet and you're about to lose the signal to Earth, and you've got time to download 5 songs and 1 bit of software and 1 book onto your Kindle. What are they going to be? No, I did not steal that idea. How dare you? Rendle.io, I use for email. Isanantipattern.com. everything.isanantipattern.com. So that is a site that just uses Markov chains to generate a blog post saying that whatever you prefix the domain with is an anti-pattern. markrendell.net is an email one. School of Grok theoretically is me teaching people programming at some point. Orwhat.com. I had a notion to build a sort of alternative to type website. So should I use this or what? And so, yeah, if you wanted an alternative stuff, but who can be bothered? .labs.io, don't even ask. Rendellabs.com and .co.uk and .net, that's my business. Bobbins.io, not sure. 10pintour.uk is something I'm doing for my father-in-law. Rendell.dev is my blog. Streambadger.com, and you can see I just renewed unwcf.com. Clubpenguinc.com is for the game I'm making with my son, where he draws the pictures with felt tips and then we put them into a game, and we're remaking Club Penguin. Futurology4.dev is the website for a talk that I do that I'm super proud of, and so it has a website. RandomMrPenguin.com is my son's site that he hasn't done anything with yet. Sylvester.website, don't even ask. But when I registered it, apparently 4 years ago, I think it was like a 10-year domain for €10 or something. So yes, so there you go. And those are the ones that are on Gandhi, and then there's others. Shut up. I don't care what you think. I'm allowed to have domains. So yes, anyway, where was I? Right, so I've registered streambadger.com, and I'm going to create a an app. So Railway, aha, and I need to host it somewhere, and there's this thing called Railway.app, which I have been looking at. Railway.app, and this lets you run stuff in a cloud that feels local, and you can deploy from anywhere. I haven't tried it yet. I thought this would be the thing for today, would be to give this a try. So we're gonna see if we can get stuff running, but it's free. You can have 3 projects for free, and so I'm gonna do Railway login. See, this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. This is a command line interface, and the GitHub command line and the Azure command line and everything do stuff very similarly, and it just went to my browser, which is my default browser, which is already logged in, and to this login to the CLI page, and success, you can close this page. And so that's the experience that we're going to have with Streambadger, is you click the login button. I'll turn that off. There you go. See, this is live developing the thing that's actually doing the overlay. Okay. And then so then I can do Railway link. J. So apparently I've now linked this directory. So let's take a look at what's suddenly appeared, because I've now suddenly got a .railway directory, and there's a config.json in here, and the project path is d/twitch/streambadger, and the environment is this, and the user and token, for some reason, doesn't have anything in there. Okay, so if we go back to here and go to docs, you can essentially, you just need to, it'll run Node.js and Python natively. I haven't tweeted to say, ooh, I'm on Twitch. Sorry, I've just got to do this. Learning how to deploy a .NET 5 application to railway_app. Come see. So yeah, you wrap for things that aren't Node.js. Rookie mistake. Yes, I know. So create a new railway project by visiting dev.new and selecting what you want to do. Plugins, install the CLI, develop locally, deploy railway up, and all this sort of stuff. And it works with Node out of the box, but it will just, if you give it a Docker image or a Docker file, then it will work with that. And so we're going to add a Docker file to our application here. So we'll say new file, Docker file. Not now. And then we are going to create a Docker image around streambadger.login. Okay. So we're going to say from mcr.microsoft.com/.net. I can't remember. .NET 5 Docker file. Let's just grab this because where's your Docker file? Where's the Docker file? Where's the Docker file? Give me the Docker file. From. Oh, you're not going to do it like that, surely. Right, no, not having that. ASP.NET 5 Docker file example. Right, here we go. So, this is pretty close, but we're going to say copy streambadger.sln dot. And then in our src, we've got src/streambadger.csproj to ./streambadger/ and then desktop and login. Very sort of vexing thing. We have to copy all of these on, but it doesn't actually matter because all we're doing at this point. So we copy the solution and the project files on. Okay. And then we copy everything else. And the reason we do this is because the SLN and the CS proj files don't change that often. If you're not familiar with Docker, then when you do Docker build, it kind of keeps a cache. Every command in your Docker file creates a new image which layers on the image before and on the image before and the image before. And those are cached on your machine. And so when you already have done a build and then you do another build, it looks at streambadger.sln, csproj, csproj, csproj to see if any of those have changed. If nothing that affects this bit has changed, it'll start from the cache of here, which means you can skip the .NET restore. And so then we say --no -restore. Okay, and then this becomes 5.0 because we're using 5.0. And then what I need to remember is, so .NET publish .NET publish --help .NET publish options project. So that would be ./src/streambadger login. So that should just publish streambadger login to the out directory, and then the start for this is just entry point should just be streambadger login there, basically. Okay. I think that's right. I think that's what we need. Let's give that a try. Oh, and one more thing that we need to do is we need to create a .docker ignore. This is really important, and if you forget it, you do not want to copy your bin and OBJ directories, and especially not your OBJ directories, onto, I think you can just do that actually, to be honest. You don't want to copy those onto your Docker file because the OBJ directory has got the project assets.json stuff inside it. And if you copy the project assets.json from a Windows machine into a Linux container, then it will explode. So, cheers, Des. I need to make sure my clips are making it onto ClipTalk, Jeff's thing. So if I now come back to here and do clear and just do docker build dot, and oh, silly boy. So those need to go src/ like that. That's what we've done wrong there. Yay, people are meeting people in my chat. That's awesome. Docker build dot. /stream badger. All right, there we go. So pulling down the SDK, doing all that stuff, that's coming down. Yeah, no, I wish Docker files supported glob pattern. I think that's probably the number one thing, because I mean it does. You can say copy dot slash star star slash star.cs proj, but it copies them all into the current directory, which just doesn't work. It's not the way it's supposed to work. So yes, doing a copy slash slash so the resolve package assets task failed unexpectedly. Why would that have happened? See, that looks... Let's try this. That's better. So yeah, so no, apparently Docker ignore does not work like git ignore, and I did have to put that glob wildcard in on my Docker ignore. Okay, so now if I give this the -t local slash stream badger, and then I can do docker run -p80:5001 local slash stream badger. Stream badger login execute. Okay, so if I do --exec /bin/bash, oh, it's entry point. Entry point. -ti. Okay. I think I just need to change that last line so it says /streambadger login, and then we should be good. Let's just see what I've got running. Entry point. So entry point, if you look at the Docker file down at the bottom here, that says when you start the container, this is the command that I want you to run. And so when you're running it from the command line, you can override that by specifying --entry point. And so that lets me start a bash, start the thing. So this entire command is basically going run something, bind port 80 on the container to 5001 on localhost, attach a terminal and run in interactive mode, override the entry point, the default entry point from the image with whatever this is here, so /bin/bash, and then this is just the name of the image that it wants to run. So this now I really need to remember my -t. Build docker build -t local /stream badger. Oh, Right, there you go. So this is now running in a Docker container. And then if I go to, where have I put the thing? There it is. And then I can go to localhost 5001. And that is, for some reason, not connecting. Reload. Stop. Okay. Why are you refusing to connect? Port is already allocated. Port is already allocated. Oh, that's, why is that still running? Docker stop recursing black. Docker rm recursing black. Docker ps minus a. Docker rm pensive Ptolemy. Docker rm interesting Roentgen and Docker rm cranky Dubinsky. Docker rm reverent Lalande and Docker rm heuristic Pasteur. Okay, and then we'll try run Docker ps. So that's sending 80 to 5001 TCP vigorous pain, and that's doing that. And so if I go back to here, Docker run -it -rm. You're being dragged away to play My Little Ponies. All right, Rob. Enjoy your My Little Ponies, and I will see you next time. Okay. What we are going to do now is we're going to go into StreamBadger login and startup. And we are going to take out HTTPS and HTTPS redirection, like that. We're just going to run this quickly. No, running the wrong thing. Stop, stop, stop. Stop it. Thank you. Go away. The amount of time I spent last week, we're going to run StreamBadger login, which is going to go like this to make sure it runs on my machine, and it does, so that's cool. And then we're going to come back to here and we're going to do build again. So yeah, that was the thing. So I just made a change to the StreamBadger login code, and I didn't have to go through that whole long restore step there like that. Docker ps. But yes, no, --rm you can add to a Docker command to say, when I'm done with this, just remove the container. I don't want it to be there anymore. So docker stop vigorous pain, and then let's do run again, and then let's try that local host again. That is weird. Why is that not working? So docker exec -ti elated tereshkova /bin/bash ps. Oh God. Curl wget. Damn it. Why? Why are you not working? No, I'm pretty sure it's not being firewalled. I've run stuff on Docker in this all the damn time. And this base image here, so I mean, Docker run, if we do it with -ti so I can see the stuff, it's definitely running on 0080. And then 80 is mapped. If I go over to here and do docker ps, 80 is mapped to 5001 TCP. IPv6? I don't know. I don't know. No XML encryptor configured. Yeah, no, that's fine. We don't care about that. Why is this not working? I'm thrown. Do. So yeah, this is the ASP.NET runtime. That's the right one. Have I got my ports the wrong way around? Is that how stupid it is? Is it that I can never remember? Yeah, SSL error is fine. Network, disable cache. Let's do this. this because I've HSTS'd my thing? All right, let's just go back to here and we'll run it on port 5000 instead. That's nice and easy. Localhost colon 5000. And then that actually did do something there. The client ID option must be provided. Right, brilliant. Now we are getting somewhere. So it doesn't have the client ID stuff. Okay, so this is all good, right? So then I've got my Railway app here. Here is my Railway app, okay, Stream Badger. And here's my setup for it. I've done this. And I can Railway run in here, but I've got variables in here. And these are environment variables that will be set in the Docker container when it is run. Come on, railway.app, do your thing. Deployments, variables. So I've got a Redis thing in here. Go home, go to dashboard. Yay, something's running slowly and it's not my fault. Wouldn't it be hilarious if railway.app just went down because I was trying to access it for my Twitch stream? Oh, why? Why do these things happen to me? So yeah, it appears that there is being an outage. Because this bit here should be my kind of go to my dashboard thing. Get started. Control K. And this is very, very stressful. It's just for a change. I don't think it is DNS. Where's that page gone? You can go back there. No, I am not lost. I am not lost. You are lost. There we go. Welcome to having stuff in here. Right. So, this is the Stream Badger Railway app, as I said, and it's got a Redis thing available to it. Is there a railway person in the chat? Is there a railway person who's just got me running on a little screen down there and they've just gone, oh, bloody hell! Can you turn it off and on again? So yes, I'm not gonna have a go at them because that would be completely wrong. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy system environment variables and so Twitch client ID, and this is going to become Twitch __ client ID, and it's going to be that. I am doing this off screen for obvious reasons. Cancel, and then client secret, Twitch __ client secret is going to be that. Okay, so that's good, that's cool. So now, when I run this application with Railway, these environment variables should be set. So I haven't done this before. Like I say, I've only just installed Railway on here, but now if in this directory I do Railway run, so setup, I need to run this apparently. Railway login. I am logged in. Thank you. I wonder if whatever just happened logged me out. Your Windows support isn't very good at the moment. Hello, Jake from Railway. Right, so Jake from Railway. I have got WSL handy, yes. So let's do that. No. Ubuntu. Okay. npm. No. Sudo apt install node.js. Yep. And then we can do sudo npm i-g @railway/CLI. All right, let's install npm. Good grief, look at that lot. Sudo apt update. See, the hilarious thing, one of the reasons that I am not a Node fan is this is just to run npm. This is just to run Node's package manager. It's absolutely bonkers. Why do you have to install all this stuff? And you need Python in case something needs to build something native, and then you need your dev essentials and all that sort of stuff. And it's just, no, please do not make me do this. So now npm version. And I still don't have npm installed. What can I do with this? APT search railway. No. All right. I am now going to paste into my bash something that someone just pasted into the Twitch stream. That it looks legit. Whatever. Oh, sudo. Railway help. Excellent. Right, railway. Oh, hang on. So let's cd to /mnt/d/twitch/stream badger, and then we'll do railway login. All right. And then, nope, not that again. Where's my railway? So this. Excellent. Yeah, Jake now pwns my machine. Thanks, Jake, though. I really appreciate this. This is fantastic. This is one of the brilliant, brilliant things. So now I should be able to do railway run. Building railway local stream badger production latest from Docker file. But no, I go on Twitch and I tag the people that I'm sort of doing stuff with. This is, look at this, right? And so now, if I go to localhost 4411, this won't work because the callback URL is not going to be right. But if I go to localhost :4411, listening on NVAR port. It is a web server. So this is listening on port 80. Let's just go to here and do docker ps. And this is mapped, 4411 to 4411. So how do I need to get, so do I need it to be on 4411 to run it on, you pipe that in? Right, so you give me the port and I listen on the port that you specify. Right, okay. So, let's go back to here. Where are we? So let's stop that, which lets us distribute this to our prod cluster wherever an arbitrary port. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, right. So let's go and do this in here. And so that would be in program.cs. We can say var port equals environment.get environment variable port if port is length greater than 0, and int.tryparse port So if there is a port and if it's set to something, then we say webbuilder.configure Kestrel options to options dot listen any IP port. Okay. So this is now basically saying if port is available and it's set. So let's just put a comment on here to say for running in Railway, like that. Okay. And then we can come back out to here. Actually, I don't need to do that because it's going to rebuild the Docker file for me anyway. Right. So now I can go back to here and there we go. Okay, cool. My app is now running Railway compatible. And so if I'm understanding this right, and if I'm not, then I'm sure Jake will very kindly correct me in the comments in the chat. But in the same way that if you can get something running in a Docker file, you can then ship that Docker image and it should run anywhere. This feels like if I can get it running in with Railway Run, then there's like a 99.9% chance that when I do Railway up and deploy it into the actual cloud, then it will run there quite happily as well. I think. This is my theory. Okay, so this isn't going to work at the moment because it isn't doing any of the useful stuff. Yeah, no, nothing's ever. We can. It's bad luck to say 100%, but I like it. Like I say, this is. I've been reading about Railway and looking at a couple of things on Railway since Khalid was running something on it, and I went, oh, that's quite cool. But this is my first actual experience with it, as you might be able to tell, and so it's good to know this stuff. Okay, so right, that's all well and good, and we can stop that again now because this does not currently do everything that is required of it. Okay, so in the controller here, thanks for the follow, Mila, Milaikai, much appreciated. So yes, oh, docs, Railway, environment variables, open URL. Okay, so there's a bunch of environment variables that you can check. So you could basically say, if any of these are set, then, so like Railway static URL, for example, then you could use that and say, if that's set, then we're running in Railway, and if it's not, then we're not. That's pretty cool. I like that. So let's go back to here. Right. So the process of this desktop application logging in, very much like the it seems to be it's just that port thing that you have to care about, but that's fine. That was a very, very easy thing. Right, so the desktop application is going to basically use shell execute to open the StreamBadger login page on the site. You can also just define the port you want inside the dashboard. Oh, can you? So if I set port equals 80, right? Okay, that would have been even easier, but never mind. That's I'm quite happy with that at the moment. Right. So yeah, what we actually want here is we want public iaction_result login, and that is going to take a client or a session ID. All right, and this is going to be HTTP GET login/session ID. All right, so that's cool. And then what it's going to do is it's going to store that session ID, and when it comes back, so we're going to put this into a cookie. So we're going to say response.cookies.append StreamBadger.session ID is going to be session ID. And then we're going to do this. All right. And we're just going to go to here and we're going to copy this and we're going to call it login.cshtml. Nope. And then there's my thing there, you see. Okay, so then that's going to come back to wherever it's going to come back to. And we're going to stick this into Redis. And when it comes back with the authentication information that we need, which is the access token and that sort of stuff, we're going to dump that into Redis. And we are going to do that using message pack. So we're going to install this in here. Okay. And then in our startup here, we had this thing that was putting the access token and the refresh token. Context dot whatever. So access token and refresh token have gone into my claims thing here. And so then that's the other thing I want, is I need to add a reference to Redis, which is going to be stackexchange.redis. Okay. And then in startup here, we're going to say services.add singleton iConnection multiplexer is going to be provider to. Right. Now, Railway, my Railway here has given me, so I've got Redis host, Redis port, Redis user, Redis URL, and Redis password. And so in here, I want to say return new connection multiplexer connect and user equals something. Okay, so we're going to say var user equals environment.get environment variable Redis user, and var password equals environment.get environment variable Redis password. You can do Railway variables to see all of them in the terminal. Yes, no, I do not want to be doing that on the stream. But thank you for the tip. I've got a whole bunch of Railway people in my stream. This is fantastic. I am loving this tonight. Thanks, everyone. This is being really good fun. Host, port, and I'm just going to pop that up here and do a view thing on there. Okay, you can go away again. So stackexchange.redis connection string yeah, I'm gonna build it up from stuff. So what else did we have? Redis host, Redis port. Var host equals environment.get environment variable Redis host, and var port equals environment.get environment variable Redis port, like that. And then we're going to say endpoints equals new DNS endpoint, I'm guessing. So host is, yeah, that's do. host name or string representation of an IP address and port. There it is. Host and if int.tryparse port var comma out int port, like so. I think theoretically that should be enough. Otherwise we're going to throw new not. Let's just do that for the time being. Right. And now if I go to home controller and say I'm going to inject iConnection multiplexer Redis into here and introduce that as a read-only field. Now, theoretically, this will if I do a railway run again, and then we can go back to here and we can go to, no, where's my thing there? There we go. Localhost 4411. /login question mark, no, /login/foobar. Right, so that's worked. That has successfully created and connected to Redis, because otherwise the dependency injection would have failed and it wouldn't have been able to create the home controller. So that's good. We have Redis in our application now. That's very nice. Twitch was challenged and stuff. So yeah, that becomes better once the DNS thing actually matches. Right. So now we are going to add some additional code in here in fact. So in here, in this onCreatingTicket, this is where we've got the access token and the refresh token, okay? And so we can basically say context dot var redis equals context.http context.request services.get required service iConnection multiplexer. Okay. And then we can say redis dot get database dot set something. been a while since I've used Redis. String get and string set. And this will be var session ID equals context dot request dot cookies dot try get value stream badger dot session ID out var session ID. And then this is going to be set to a Redis value. So let's just go back to here, stackexchange.redis. Basic usage. Redis allows raw binary data for both keys and values. So that means we can do our message pack thing. So, so we're going to create a session data class. Just stop asking this. And this is going to be a message pack object. And we're going to have a prop string access token and a prop string ID token and a prop string refresh token. And that's going to be key 0. Okay, so this is giving us our session data thing here. And then in our startup code here, we're going to say var session data equals new session data access token equals context.access token, refresh token equals context.refresh token, and ID token equals context dot identity dot name. Prop string name, that's going to become just ID. That can be key 3. So we want the access token for doing login stuff. We want the ID because we need that for the chat things. We want the name so we can display who you're logged in as. And we want the refresh token so that this thing can do background refreshes from the client without having to stress about it. So then start up here. ID equals context dot identity dot and I can't remember where it puts it in here. It sticks it in there somewhere. So, going to run this locally again. Which means running it without Redis. So I go back to the controller here and I'm going to take this out and take this out like this, take this out like this, and go back to startup, and we'll just comment that out for the minute. And we'll take that out of there, and we're going to set a breakpoint here. Slash sign out. No, slash home slash sign out, isn't it? Let's open up the tools and go to application and delete the cookies. Delete the cookie, delete the cookie. And then we can go to slash login slash foobar. Right, so we've got an access token and we've got a refresh token. So this is all good. But somewhere in here, we've got my identity, which has got my claims in it, which has got name identifier and name. Just gonna grab this quickly. There we go. And then we can stop this. And then we can say var ID equals context dot identity dot claims dot first or default C to C dot type equals claim types dot name identifier, and var name equals context dot claim type dot name, and then we can put ID equals ID and dot value, put the question mark on there, and name equals name, and let's run this up again. Slash login slash foobar and back to here again, and so ID is what we want it to be and name is what we want it to be, and all is good with the world. Excellent. This is going super, super well. So then we just need to say var data equals message pack serializer dot serialize session data. No, serialize, not deserialize. Dot serialize and then we can say await Redis dot var db equals Redis dot get database, and then db dot string set session ID, comma, data. Right. So that's working now. Right. That's working. And then what we're going to put in is we're going to have a, so we're going to re-add iConnection multiplexer Redis, and that's going to become a read-only field. And then we're going to have a public action result of session data ping, and this is going to be HTTP get ping, and then this, so to make it a little bit sort of less easily hackable, oh no, let's not. Let's just slash session ID. Rider's got that now, and ReSharper, I think, has also got it in Visual Studio. But yes, Rider will now do that for you. And then we can say var db equals redis.getDatabase. And then we can say db.string get byte data equals session ID. Async task of action result of session data. So Redis value supports implicit conversion to byte array, and then we can say if all right, no, let's do it as a var. So var value if not value dot has value, return not found. Otherwise, we're going to say value dot byte data equals value to do the implicit conversion, and then we can say var session data equals message pack serializer dot deserialize session data, and then we can say return session data. Okay. So now, the theory at this point is that my client application opens that login thing here, and then starts pinging this with a sort of 1 second delay, and just keeps hitting it. So let's go and do that stuff. I'm very sorry, I should have muted my microphone, but it's just I don't have a mute microphone thing handy. I'm so sorry. Very sensitive microphone. Do OBS Studio. What does this do? I don't know what that does. Sorry, I'll figure that out. Add a mute button to my Stream Deck. Okay, so Stream Badger Desktop. Let's add a page here. And we're going to add a Blazor component, which is a page, and we're going to call it login. And we're going to change this to 1. And then this is going to say logging in using your default browser. Okay. And then we are going to say override on after render if first render, and then we're going to say process start is new process start info, and that is going to be https:/streambadger.com/login/ and we're going to say var session ID equals, we're going to say string session ID underscore session ID equals GUID.newGUID.toString n. because I like not having the dashes in my GUIDs for this sort of thing. And then this is going to go to underscore session ID. Use shell execute true. Okay. And then we are going to say process.start PSI. And we're going to have a string message here equals logging in using your default browser. And up here, this is just going to be message like that. And then we're going to have a public class login client, which is going to be private read-only HTTP client underscore client like this, and that's going to come from the constructor. And then in our startup code here, no, wrong startup code, want this startup code. Let's just close everything else for now. And we can say services.add HTTP client. So we're going to have a different HTTP client, which is going to be the login client. Client.base address equals new URI HTTPS, so local stream badger.com, like so. And then we're going to have a public async task, and I'm going to grab session data from here and add a new directory, models, and paste that in there. Take that out, and that, and that, and that. Ping async. String session ID. Cancellation token. And then we can say while not token.is cancellation requested. Var data equals await underscore client dot get from JSON async slash ping slash session ID. And let's check the docs for this. So what does it do? If it's not found, I assume. I'm going to do var response equals await underscore client dot get async slash login slash session ID and pass the cancellation token, and then we can say if response dot is success status code response dot content dot return await response dot content dot read from JSON async session data like so. And then we can say await task dot delay time span dot from seconds 1 and pass the cancellation token in there as well. So this will basically, this within the client will just sit there and keep pinging streambadger.com. Right, let's go back to here. And I'm just going to do, going to go back to here, StreamBadger controllers, home controller. Is just going to return the view. Okay, so theoretically, if I go into here and do Railway up, let's see if we can get this deployed into Railway. So it's pinging every second because it's going to essentially open the page in the browser and then just start hitting the API endpoint to go, have they logged in through the browser yet? Once they log in through the browser, then the session data will go into Redis with the unique identifier, at which point the API will return that session data back nicely serialized using JSON. And then it should be possible to do that in here. One or more build args were not consumed. Jake, what does one or more build args were not consumed mean? Do I need to worry about that? So anyway, we're going to go to here. And if we go to deployments, we got this. Yay, look at that. Look at that. It's running. So that's pretty cool. So then if I go to domains and add custom domain and just put streambadger.com in there and say next, and then I've got to pop over to Cloudflare just here, and DNS, and add a record, CNAME, at, and this, save. Oh God. Edit, delete, yep, and then save that, and then streambadger.com. Hang on, let's go back to here. And this is doing waiting. Let's give this another try. See how long this takes. So yeah, the stuff in the domain here is basically saying that these weren't consumed, but I don't know how it knows whether they've been consumed or not. They're being used in my application, so I figure they're probably there and it doesn't matter. So SSL TLS. Right. Well, I'm guessing that's just some DNS stuff that's taking a little while to run on the Railway side, because in theory, I mean, let's open up the I'm using Cloudflare for my DNS and proxying and stuff, and so Cloudflare, it's got automatic SSL. So I have just let's go to network, close the console here. So yeah, it's doing a bunch of redirects, headers, response headers. Try to redirect to streambadger.com. Even though it's on streambadger.com. So I don't know what's going on there, but I'm guessing it's something to do with this waiting thing here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to stress about this particularly. It looks like it's just taking a little while for the domain to tick through to Railway. But what I am going to do is declare victory. So let's take a, how is my Cloudflare proxy set up? Must set your TLS SSL/TLS settings to full or above. Ah, okay. So let's full like that. So encrypts end to end using a self-signed certificate on the server. So full is where Cloudflare basically goes, we're going to use SSL, but I'm just going to accept whatever your thing is on the server. That was it. There you go. I hadn't read the docs. Thank you very much, Jake. So yeah, changing. Let me just show you this in Cloudflare. So here's my Cloudflare. So many browser tabs. So in my DNS, I've just ignore all of these. None of these matter. I've got a root CNAME that's pointing to streambadger-production.up.railway.app. And in my Railway dashboard, I've told it that streambadger.com is a legit domain and it should expect things coming in on that. And then, so Cloudflare, if you're not familiar with Cloudflare, hello Cayman Sigcraft, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, if you've never used Cloudflare, then wow, you really should. The amount of stuff that Cloudflare just give you for free is insane. But they were one of the first people on the first sort of internet companies, big internet companies, to go, hey, you know what, everything should be HTTPS all the time. And so what they do is because they're fundamentally a content delivery network, which means that the browser connects to Cloudflare and then Cloudflare connects to your website and gets the content and then sends it back to the browser and it caches it on the edge and all this sort of stuff. But Cloudflare also handles SSL termination. So they generate a valid SSL certificate for, in this case, streambadger.com. And so your browser hits Cloudflare, which has the valid certificate. And then Cloudflare can proxy on to your backend content. And they are also 1.1.1.1, which is my set as my DNS, because it is noticeably faster. But yes, and so what this page here is saying is, how do you want Cloudflare to connect to your backend server? And there's 4 levels here. So if you turn it off, Cloudflare will not do SSL at all. You should never, ever, ever turn it off. Just don't. Just why would you? There's HTTPS is better. It's faster. It's just and it's free. Flexible means that the browser talks HTTPS to Cloudflare, but then Cloudflare talks HTTP to whatever the back end is. And Railway are not running your app on HTTP, they're running it on HTTPS for you, because I assume they've just got a massive wildcard certificate for railway.app or up.railway.app, which just covers everything running on their entire platform. Yeah, so when it was set to flexible, Cloudflare was looking for HTTP and Railway were going, nope, don't have that, don't have that, don't have that. Try going to HTTPS. And then Cloudflare was going, oh, I'll try going to HTTPS, which of course it already had. So setting it to full, what full means is use HTTPS, but just accept whatever certificate they're giving you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to match the certificate that you're looking for. I'm not sure how that actually works here, because Cloudflare knows that it's a CNAME and the SSL certificate at the back end is valid for that CNAME, so I think it's probably okay. And then this full strict thing down here is you can generate a Cloudflare, so you can say to Cloudflare, generate me an origin certificate for this thing. And so that's to make sure that Cloudflare is definitely talking to your site. It's the sort of thing where if you're doing credit card transactions or anything like that, then you probably want to go full strict and do the full kind of Cloudflare origin certificate thing. But for general day-to-day purposes, just for doing Twitch login stuff, I am going to be starting doing beginner streams. Yes, K-Man. I don't know when, but at some point soon, I am going to start doing beginner streams. I'm going to put some. I'm going to put a blog up about it on my blog on rendell.dev to get some feedback. And yeah, I want to do a stream where I essentially start from Hello World with C# and .NET 5, and yeah, it'll probably be. I was thinking I might do lunchtimes in the UK, because then I can kind of do that over my lunch break, which would be fun. Because I'm already streaming 2 evenings a week. If I go, I'm going to now stream 5 evenings a week, my wife's going to go, no, you're not. Stop it. But I am going to do something. So stay tuned for more information on that. Follow the channel, and I will be adding those to the schedule at some point in the near future. All right. Yeah, full-time streaming. So far, Des, you are my only subscriber, so I don't think I'm going full-time just yet. But, you know, sponsors. Yes, sponsors. Anyway, it's 9 o'clock up. We've been doing this for 2 hours now. Gee, it's been really fun this evening. I would like to say massive thanks to Jake from Railway for stopping by the stream. Just completely brilliant having you here, mate. And thank you so much for all your help. I'd have got there, but I would have been banging my head of stuff. I will still be doing the 2 evenings where I build something kind of with new stuff that I don't know, and we learn things together. But yes, so yeah, Jake, much appreciated. Yay, I got another subscriber. Brilliant. 2 subscribers. Oh, this is fantastic. I will be blogging about the railway stuff, and with sort of what I learned along the way, and things like seems to work better with WSL and all this sort of stuff. But I'll blog the complete process. Oh, Jake, thank you, mate. You're fantastic. And yeah, in the next stream, so Tuesday next week, we'll get the desktop application actually talking to that thing properly, which will probably involve going through a few more deploys of stuff and digging a bit more into Railway and how it handles logging and all that sort of stuff, which I'm really looking forward to. But my initial experience with Railway.app has been fantastic, so please do go and check them out. Thanks everyone for being here this evening. It's been really fun. This is just how I kind of, in my head, this is how I want streams to be, and so it's been brilliant. So yeah, but let's stop now. That's enough. Enjoy the rest of your evening or your day or your night, wherever you are in the world. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll be back here on Tuesday next week, 7 o'clock UK time, 6 PM UTC. Cheers everyone. Good night.